Hey everyone, welcome to the Schroit Worldwide Podcast. My name is Mint Miracle. Oh, I'm Yo-Yo Wiggins. And who's this last person?
You know me. I'm a hand burglar.
Head burglar's back.
Yeah, Hamburglar after a few weeks.
My vacation
May look a little different.
Enumclaw, Washington.
You know? Yeah.
It makes me think of the VR chat model of Sacred Redstone.
Right.
Rabbits.
Yeah. That's
freaking rabbit.
That's something. That's really cool.
Just so you guys know, the viewers at home, is this happened right before the camera or the we started recording. Like
yeah, he just said, yeah, I'll turn. Oh no, my camera will be working by the time we start recording. Yeah. So, anyways, we're recording this actually one day earlier because me and Hand Burglar have some things we have to do tomorrow, but we got it all to work out here. So we're gonna do the usual Schroit news, then a little bit of a Bible study. And honestly, we have some really solid releases to talk about. So I'm super stoked to get into this. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
So stoked.
And we actually have 2 Chocolat Fondant releases as well, which is really nice. Because I know he hadn't released anything in a little while, and then he made the 11th Hour, and since then he's been making Schroit a bit more regularly, which is honestly, great to see. Yeah, we got some Fliffin, we got some Chocolat Fondant, we got some Madre Muchacho, and then we also have a brand new Schroit artist that dropped something today. So
yeah.
That'll be
the thing is, if you want to listen to it, you have to be on the server because they accidentally put it on private, I think. So you can't find it on their SoundCloud. You have to actually be in the server.
Also, One Size Fits All by Genesis.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I forgot about that
one. Didn't they put it in general? Where did they put that again?
It wasn't a short promo. It's actually further up. It's past Yoi and Face.
Oh snap! Is it? Yes. Oh, you're right. Okay, that's my bad. I missed that one.
That's okay. I would have missed it.
Mm-hmm.
Dark Solder.
So we have even more new stuff.
Dark Solder was last week, right?
Yeah, but we're talking about Holy War, which it's currently tagged as a playlist and not as an album. That's might be the cause of confusion. But
there's a lot of albums lately that have been having the number 2, like it's the second one.
Yeah, we've been getting a lot of sequels recently.
So we have Dark Solder 2. I know I made a Grubber Mard 2.
A Grimbo Mard 2.
Oh, Grimbo Mard.
You got this.
And what was the third one? Yeah, there's a 3 Colored Men 2.
Yeah, I'm stoked to get into that one. That was a.
Well, wasn't there 4
3 colored boys?
Yeah, there's 4 boys in that one.
Or it's boys. Men. Yeah, it's 3 Colored Boys, but there's 4 of them.
Yeah,
which I think is very controversial, but I like it.
Yeah, no, it's pretty cool. It's pretty neat.
Yeah.
So the first thing that we have to talk here is the debut single by Genesis.
Genesis.
Yeah, let me just get this loading here.
Some fresh Schroit.
Yeah, we got a lot of fresh Schroit here. I don't know how much Schroit you've been catching up on as you've been gone, Hand Burglar, but there's been a lot.
I got up for this week, but I missed like the last 2 weeks of Schroit.
That's a shame. You're gonna have to go listen back to some of those releases. Yeah. There's some really good
ones.
What
would you recommend in the albums for Hand Burglar to go listen to, Mint?
There's a new Yo-Yo Wiggins, which is pretty good. You should definitely listen to Earl.
Okay.
One thing, it's Yoi and Face. That one was I thought that was pretty good.
We're talking about that one this week.
Yeah, that's one of the new ones.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Madre Muchacho album, pretty good.
Yeah.
Actually, 3 Colored Boys too. Solid.
Yeah, it's great. But anyways, before we get there, the first one that we have to talk about is One Size Fits All by Genesis. I remember I remember it being a bit more like I know they said that they preferred more like dark or like ambient kind of things. Like that was a bit more of their vibe, and you can see that because it is a longer Schroit song. It's 51 seconds. It kind of fits that description. I think it's a very solid start. For a Schroiter. I'm not like this isn't like me listening to like a really. It's not like Kun, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not. I mean, to be fair though, like I
I could never produce something like Cunt.
Yeah,
Personally,
I think it's like it's weird because I feel like the four of us, like our first albums were like just really like some of our best stuff. But I feel like a lot of the newer Schroiters, I feel like it's like they start and you're like, okay, I see what's going on here, and then it's only a couple albums later they drop a masterpiece on you, and you're like,
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah. I think Genesis is going to be one of those ticking time bombs. Not to say that their first song was bad, but it was good. But
Well,
Yeah.
I wouldn't
from
call it
what
a
I
masterpiece,
understand, Genesis
maybe.
doesn't have any real musical experience either.
Mm.
Oh, they have.
And
Well, no, they
we
have
kind of
some.
pressured them into it,
We did kind of pressure them into it, which is funny.
which is awesome.
I love peer pressure. No, they have a little bit of a musical background. I know that because I know they sing.
Oh, that's true. But when it comes to the actual,
But yeah, but like composition, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
They there was a big tuna incident.
Yeah, crazy.
big tuna, yeah.
But
Shame.
But anyways, we can give it a listen here, and
I'm ready.
all right, yeah, it
It's-
kind of sounds like a
yeah.
demented circus. That's like the kind
With
of
this
vibe
song,
it gives.
I feel like what I would have done with this song, I would have given it the Remusi of N-Men treatment. If you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's that would be pretty good actually. But the only thing is that the Remusi of Unman has been done before.
Yeah, but the thing is, if it works, you try it some other way. I did that a lot of times where I have some themed albums where like I have
You get a
story
haircut?
and stuff like that. No, my hair shrank. So I have albums that have like a set thing. So there's I forget the one which one that is, but it's the album where it's the curtains. It's like
Oh,
yeah,
behind the curtains of fate, I believe.
that one. Yeah. That was my first, I think, story album, and it didn't hit as well as Crossing the Street. Crossing the Street, that was my second
Oh,
story
yeah,
album, and that one worked well.
That one's
So
a really good
You
one.
can get some better stuff. Even if it hit very well, I still try sometimes to make albums that have a story, and Miracle did that with
Calms the Nerves.
the one, yeah, Calms the Nerves, which
And
was
that's one of my
kind
best
a sequel.
albums, honestly.
Yeah, it was a kind of a sequel to I feel Crossing the Street, where it's the other point of view. Very poetic if you think about it. Where
Yeah.
I'm getting smushed and Mint is smushing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's like stuff like that. You try if other people try it, they'll bring their own take to it. You know?
Yeah. No, I definitely feel like this shows promise, but I want to see I want to see it go somewhere, right? I'm like,
Yeah.
This is a great start, but that's what it is. It's a start, right? Again, I don't want it to sound like we're roasting this because it's not a bad Schroit song. It's a pretty solid.
It's not Paddy Whack. It's not Paddy Whack.
Yeah, it's not like Paddy Whack, right? It's actually a pretty solid Schroit song.
But he'd be like, it's soon, guys. Soon.
Yeah, trust me, guys. I'm definitely gonna make another album. But no, like I'd love to see what they could do with this. I mean, the song name is perfect for Schroit. One Size Fits All is a great song name. It really adds to it. I think that's basically everything that has to be said about this piece. Unless anyone else has any final comments.
I personally a criticism is that it's a little long.
That's
I mean,
fair.
Yeah.
I as a single, it's a great size for a single. But I feel like almost it is too repetitive.
Yeah.
That's why I said the Remisiv
But
and Man treatment. You split into
yeah,
like
where you would
5
were to split it
songs,
up. Like if
and
you take that, chunk it into different sections, and then make different things
jumbled.
with it. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
yeah, but that's it. But other than that, I mean, that's still some solid Schroit.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's like it's a really good start.
Yeah, and that's a good single.
Yeah. Now speaking of singles, this next song, Yoy in Face.
Yoy in face.
I don't know how you
Yeah.
guys feel about this, but I feel like this is an absolute banger.
I can't remember it, probably because of the fact that it was a single. It was, yeah.
Alright.
It's just it's what is it? 35 seconds, just a
Yeah.
single. That's it.
Yeah. But those 35 seconds go crazy though.
Oh, I'm not doubting that. I mean, Chocolat Fondeur,
He knows what he's
pretty
doing.
good. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Check this out. Like it's a
Crazy.
great single,
Crazy.
great Yoi piece, right? I mean, the Yoi is like the cornerstone.
You can't go wrong with Yoy.
You really can't. Like it
My
just.
goal is now to try to go wrong with Schroit.
You mean
With not Schroit, with
Yoy?
Yoy.
It's probably possible, but this
That
is
is now
it's
a new
just
goal.
an absolute. I mean, it's a slapper. It's an absolute groove. It's driving
Oh, yeah.
forward. There's a nice bit of
This
variety,
groove.
even though most of it is just drum and Yoi. No,
Oh,
really
it's
solid.
like 2 channels can work wonders.
Oh yeah, you can do a lot with that. Like
Yeah.
no, this is a great. I mean, I don't have much to say other than that. Just that it's a really solid single. I feel like it doesn't go too long. Now of course singles tend to be a
That's a
bit
good
longer,
size.
but
That's true.
it showed what it had to show, said what it had to say,
Said
then
what it had to say.
it said what it had to said, and then it finishes off real nice. No.
Yep, I like those in the center where you get that kind of like a
Yeah, we're
almost-
kind of
it
changed
makes
up a
it
little
feel like
bit.
a transformer almost.
Yeah.
Giving me transformer vibes. Pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. No,
Yeah.
it was a super, super solid single. And we got a lot of singles this week, actually. Most of these releases are singles. Shrimp Me Filthy by Fliff Mill. Now, I remember my comment that I said in a Schroit promo after you posted this was just, it is insane how much the album art sounds like the music. It's so fitting. It is extremely fitting.
I had that picture on my phone for many years, and maybe not many years, but like many months, and I never used it for anything. And I was just like, this seems right, and Shrimp Me Filthy sounds about right for this album art. And since I posted it for my phone, I couldn't put it as a Schroit genre, so I might go change that later. But this is
Okay, but
on
it is
SoundCloud.
Schroit.
It doesn't show as Schroit, but it is Schroit. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a bit of a sequel to the futility, or not the futility, progress for the sake of progress, because I use another program to make it.
What
and it doesn't
program
show
did you
what-
use?
Oh, it's on my phone. Let me go find the name real quick.
All right.
It's not that good of a program because you have
Yeah.
to pay money to get the good stuff, but it's the Band Lab.
Band Lab. Okay. I'll keep
So
that in mind.
this is what it gives.
Nice. Let's give her a listen. I mean, like honestly, like those like deep voices and like the that's something that you can't really replicate in beatbox, and it's really cool to hear in here. It's still definitely Schroit, even if it's not made it, because obviously you don't need to use beatbox to make Schroit. And this really just goes to show like how versatile Schroit can be. I think it's a very solid single. I mean, I'm a big fan of Progress for the Sake of Progress. I think Targeted is a super underrated album. I think Targeted is a fantastic album. It's like, honestly,
it's
I might have
at some point you want to use
do a whole
the
video
app.
on that, but yeah, Targeted is super
if
good.
if you want to use this app, for the deep voices, it's an instrument. It's choir male.
Sounds about
You
right.
have to go find that somewhere. I don't remember how I used this, but I think it was in like just virtual instruments. Yeah. And then the drum track is just like a loop that I just have. I just chose like a loop thing, and then let's put these ones.
It sounds filthy, but in a good way, you know.
Yeah.
With the wet beats a little bit. Yeah, I like it. I like it.
What are you thinking, Yo-Yo?
I'd rather not say.
I mean, like, if you don't like it, that's fine.
No,
You're
do
allowed-
it. Do it.
No.
I want to have your comments. If you hate
I was
it,
lost for a
like
moment.
it. I like people who hate. I like when people hate some of my songs, because that means there's at least some emotion. But the thing is, with the finish, no one has any emotions. It's just like, this is a boring album. That's why it's.
Shut your mouth. Let me say something.
Ben has an opinion.
Okay. Now, what I kind of enjoyed about this song is, as Mint was saying, how it relates to the album cover. The way that I see it is that whatever's standing, the yellow thing, is in the middle of the road, and this song depicts what's happening around them as the cars dodge.
Yeah.
And he's just like yelling, "Oh!"
Yeah, that was my observation.
It's a really solid single. I'd love to hear more with that kind of sound font.
I've been doing a lot of album arts that don't have the name of the album on them lately.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's something that's kind of interesting, because when there's a name, it's like, oh, okay, it's this but when you don't have the name, it's like, what is this? It is a bit more intrigue. It's harder to like remember usually, but it's also like you remember more the art itself than the name.
Yeah, and sometimes you just don't want to have anything over the art. Like, I know, like, this is not necessarily a Schroit thing, but I know, awesome background change. I know that when it comes to like certain bands, like there's a band I like called Horrendous, and they stopped putting out like the album name or the band name on the album cover, and it's just the art, and it's honestly it works. It's cool.
Yeah.
So next up, now this is going to be the first album we talk about here. Actually, they technically the only album, because the other one is an EP. This is the only album we're talking about today. But Holy War by Chocolat Fondeur.
Holy War.
Yeah, I remember enjoying this. I don't think I feel like I preferred Dark Solder too, but I still think that Holy War is a fun vibe, right? It's still dark, and there's certain pieces that are a little bit more nutty. Like, I know Slaughter the Horde was a very fast and like gnarly song, and then you have the more regular, like kind of like dark and like I guess kind of like epic or like grandiose sounding songs like Showdown. I thought it was good. I enjoyed the album.
Yeah, that's a good album.
Yeah.
I don't know which one we should play, but this one, yeah, it's maybe
probably Showdown.
One of the two with the most listens.
Yeah, Showdown is definitely it's at least it's. I get the impression that Showdown is one of the highlights of the album that a lot of people seem to enjoy. I get that one going. And then it just ends.
Very mysterious, very, very atmospheric. It feels very Yo-Yo Wiggins.
Yeah, and actually, I was talking with with a Chocolat Fondeur a little bit about Schroit recently, and he was saying that one of the Schroit artists that influences him the most is Yo-Yo Wiggins.
Mhm.
So
Yo yo
Yo-Yo. Yeah, no, he was saying, like, we were talking about those, like, different backgrounds, and he was like, yeah, that's what he was saying. He was like, yeah, out of all the different kind of styles of Schroit, I feel like I lean more towards that Yo-Yo Wiggins style. But he's still got his own thing going on, too.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
definitely.
Like, I feel like that, like, dark, like, piano sound is very Chocolat Fondeur.
Mhm.
And it works.
Yeah. It's Chocolat Fondant makes like stuff. It's Yo-Yo has it's hard to explain, but I can notice when it's Chocolat Fondant versus Yo-Yo, but they have like the same, like they're from the same tree, but they're different branches.
I thought you were gonna
Yeah.
say different fruit.
It's I feel like me and
Yeah.
Hamburglar are in the same tree also, but different fruit because
Yeah.
we both
Yeah.
feel kind of the same. Sometimes Madre Muchacho is like in every tree. There's a bit of like,
Yeah.
ooh, I'm
Yeah.
gonna try this one. Ooh, I'm gonna try this.
Yeah.
So I feel like
Yeah.
And-
Kind of like
and-
Mint Miracle has their own tree because they study music, so they try with a lot of
Yeah.
stuff. So a lot of
Patty
thinking
Whack.
here and there.
Patty
No,
Whack
Patty Whack.
is on the
Patty Whack isn't
ground.
even a
Patty
Patty
Whack
Whack's
is
not even
Patty
tree.
Whack is
grasping
like
the
rotting.
roots.
No, it's like
Yeah.
a mole trying to go deeper in the ground and going through
Yeah.
lava.
Yeah.
It's like there's
Yeah.
a bit of an orange man in every brown man. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because, like, I know at least when I'm making Schroit, there are some times where I'm like, do I want to go on the more Yo-Yo Wiggins-esque kind of melodic kind of thing? Or maybe I want to go for just a more hectic, nutty thing. Like, when I make a piece like Bitter Hysteria off of a Heroic Moment, that was very much me kind of drawing in some Flifmil to that one, right?
Which one again?
Whereas,
I didn't hear.
a Bitter Hysteria, which
Mhm.
I think is a super underrated song. I think that song's gonna age well.
It's like every time I see you.
Yeah,
that's what you
I
say.
always mention it. I'm always like, people don't understand how good this is. But then if I look at a song like I Hate He's Rock and Roll, to me that's a bit more Yo-Yo Wiggins-esque than it is.
I hate he's rock and roll is so good.
It's a
It's
great
so
song.
good.
It's a great song. But yeah, no, like I think me and Madre Muchacha kind of have that in common, to the thing where we're kind of like, sometimes we're branching out more in this style, sometimes we're branching out more in this other style, but we still got our own thing, which is very cool, which is very neat. And yeah, no, Chocolat Fondeur, definitely I see those Yo-Yo Wiggins influences, but he's really carved out his own sound, and it's great. Holy War is I mean, I don't like it as much as his previous albums. Not all of his previous albums. I don't think it's as good as Dark Sauter 2 or The 11th Hour. If we're talking about like the most modern era, that's my opinion. I still think this is a great, solid album. It's pretty short and sweet as well, which is really nice. Like I don't want to sound like a Debbie Downer, but I'm like, it's good, but
It's a good album.
It's a good album, but I know that he can make great albums.
So I just re-listened to Bitter Hysteria, and I can totally feel myself in there.
Oh yeah, right. Like
Yeah.
the ba ba.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And also the very quick notes that are very quickly following each other. I feel like I do that quite often. Like I just go in freehand and then I just put stuff very close to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. And
Okay.
next, Three
Oh,
Color
Color
Boys,
Boys
2.
2.
This
I'm Brown Man.
is a
I'm Brown
great
Man.
sequel. Because here's the thing: Three Color Boys is one of Madre Muchacho's best releases. I think
Mhm.
that's fair to say.
Mhm.
This, now, if it's as good as Three Color Boys 1 is up for debate. I don't know if I'd be willing to make that claim yet, but
I remember
It's still
Orange Man
fantastic.
being just so good.
yeah, no, I agree. Orange Man was my favorite.
I think it might be a hot take. I think it might be one of the better Madre Muchacho albums. I mean, I really liked it, but maybe I didn't listen to all their albums too. So
Yeah. Oh no, like the Three Color Boys saga is a really, it's a very solid pair of EPs.
Mhm.
And they're all great. They all have their own unique things. I think my least favorite was probably Brown Man.
I think
Oh,
it's the
I'm
same
Brown
for me.
Man. I'm Brown Man. I feel I'm myself in Brown Man.
I'm
Yeah.
so sorry to say.
I think for me it was Orange Man, Gray Man, Teal Man, Brown Man. I think that was the tier list that I had.
Yeah, I really liked Gray Man and Teal Man, but I think from what I remember, Teal Man was a bit more grim, and I kind of
Yeah,
liked
it was a
that.
darker song.
I enjoyed that. I think it's a good way to end the album, right? With that more like dark, like ooh, spooky kind of like outro, and it was pretty short as well. The whole thing is pretty short actually. It's a very nice, quick listen, which was one of the best things about Three Color Boys 1 was the fact that it was such a quick, easy listen. You just put it on, get it all in, fantastic, and this keeps that in. I definitely think we have to play one from here to beat Orange Man.
Oh, I want Brown Man.
Maybe we can do
Let's take.
both.
How about we vote? How about we vote?
Orange Man.
Orange Man.
Brown Man.
Brown Man.
I guess we'll listen to both. All right, let's start with Brown Man because it
Yo.
happens before. And then I mean, like
That's the song.
it like
That's good.
I didn't want to make it sound like I didn't like Brown Man. I like Brown Man. But it's just such a good EP that I think it's not as strong as the other ones. But Orange Man, that goes crazy. That goes absolutely nutty.
That second listen through Brown Man, I think, shed a different light. Personally, especially like that kind of intro melody thing. I would say it might be the theme at the start of Brown Man. It's vibing. But yeah, Orange Man all the way.
Oh yeah,
honestly.
Orange Man goes insane. Like another great Madre Muchacha release, right? He knows what he's doing.
Unsurprising.
Yeah, unsurprising, and a great addition for the Fredericton Schroit scene. I don't know like what soundboard you're using, but I can never tell what they said. Oh, you're okay. It's Duolingo
I don't want to lose
Spanish.
my. I forgot to do it today.
Yeah,
I got a notification saying you're gonna drop down.
I'll probably do my Duolingo after this.
You do it every morning, right when you're eating your breakfast.
I
That's what
forgot
I do.
was working on a song on bass after I got up. I was like, I want to do that immediately. So then I did that, and then I forgot.
Oh.
Let's go. Yeah, because I need to learn music for university. Anyways, last thing we got to talk about here. El Mosquito by The Cowmaster. Before we listen, what are you guys' initial thoughts on this?
It's good.
Oh, I like the separation of church and state.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta have both headphones on.
I'm just waiting. Yo, I don't know if your camera's frozen or if you're really good at being still.
I think it's the second one.
There's no way.
Oh wait, no, I clicked on the camera and it's loading.
Oh, there we go.
go.
There we go.
Oh, now he's just being still.
Yeah. So, anyways, Yo, what do you think about El Mosquito if you listen to it?
Okay, El Mosquito. From what I remember, it seemed to be an atmospheric sort of song. I also thought it was kind of long and repetitive, but I mean, first Schroit song, first one. I can't blame you.
Yeah. Now, I've got one huge point of criticism to say. Now, sometimes it's bold to make a huge statement right off the bat, and I can respect someone trying something that's never been done immediately. That being said, sometimes I have to put my foot down and say, the fact that it's hard panned all into only one ear, the entire song,
No,
not a fan.
Both ears. There's a part of
Is
song
there?
in each ear.
I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie. I listened to it. I heard the first 15 seconds or so in one ear, and I was like, I don't want to finish this.
See, I listened to it on my phone, so I didn't
Yeah,
notice.
but if you
So I'm
listen with
excited to hear it.
headphones, yeah. Anyways, let's
Put
That's
both headphones on. Yeah, take them off one by one.
no.
Like,
So when you said it swapped ears, you just lied.
no, it doesn't swap ears. Take one headphone off and take the other one off, and
yeah.
you'll hear
They're
it.
panned. There's two different sections.
Play
Like,
it again.
I feel like the drum is on your right ear.
I'm not.
Play a bit of again at least, and just
Maybe it's
do
your
this.
headphones. It could be my headphones too.
Okay,
There's some stuff in both headphones.
but it's like mostly.
No, I think there's one thing on the left, but it's also on the right. So it's like not hard panned left.
Yeah, it's
but, like-
technically not entirely hard panned. Technically,
It's like
Yeah.
it's like that, they do that in the Beatles. So that means they're the Beatles.
you know, I sometimes
VCR
I
too?
just gotta say, and I gotta be honest. This is the worst thing we've heard today.
Okay, I'm going to be honest. Mint is right.
Yeah,
They
It's
are
too
right.
long.
They
it could have
are
been
right,
12 seconds. It could have been
but-
12 seconds.
If it
You
was
gotta
12
stop
seconds, this would have been a banger.
Oh, absolutely. If it was 12 seconds, I would have been like a fantastic start.
But-
Keep it up.
Wait, do you want to test
Actually-
it out? Play 12 seconds. And stop it exactly at 12 seconds.
Wait, hold on.
That's a banger.
That would have been. It would have been right. It doesn't need to be 50 seconds. And like, here's the thing: with it being hard panned on one ear, or not technically not entirely hard panned on one ear, being almost entirely panned on one ear, I feel like it's one of those things where like it's a funny idea, but let's not beat this joke. Let's not beat the joke into the ground, right? It's like it's done once. So like, okay,
Where's Pachiwak when you need him?
no, don't give him this idea, please.
No.
It's like
Next
with
thing you know, Pachiwak's
intermissions.
got an album out.
Yeah, it's like with intermissions where it was like it was kind of funny at first, and then it got beaten into the ground, and then it kind of was just like ruining the genre. And it's kind of like how when Steven's Oblivion happened, and I made my set, and I was like, "This is okay. It's done once, hilarious bit. No one ever do this again, please." Right?
Yeah.
I'm
one
treating
thing
this
is
in this
true.
way.
Oh.
The thing is, this person barely listened to any Schroit.
Mm.
Yeah.
I only showed
Okay.
them like
I think
Five,
what we
so-
need is
including the futility of looking both ways.
Oh, of course. Goes without
we
saying.
need a twist album between El Mosquito and Paddywhack so that Paddywhack can teach them.
Or
You know
the
what I
Cow
mean?
Master is El Mosquito's
Oh,
the
all
song.
right, yeah, right.
Honestly,
right,
El
yeah.
Mosquito would have been a really good
Yeah,
Shroit
yeah.
name, though.
Yeah.
It is a Schroit.
But the
name.
Cowmaster is also a great Shroit name,
Yeah.
and I'm glad to accept them into our community.
Oh yeah. I
Uh,
think this is I think this is a rocky beginnings. I think it's a very bold entrance, but I can kind of respect the fact that it's so bold, right? I
Yeah,
can
I
I
think
don't
they're
like
gonna
the
do
song, but I can respect the boldness of it.
Here's the thing. I think the song is fine. It's just too long. It's too repetitive.
Yeah.
Shroit is
Mhm.
supposed to be concise, right?
Cut
And
the fat.
if it's not necessarily concise, if it is a longer song, usually there's a lot of different themes.
Trying to make
Right,
a 5-minute
exactly.
Yoi song.
Don't. It's like It's like, I think an example maybe of a song that's a bit long, but there's a lot of things that go on, would be something like off of a Heroic Moment again, Fear of the Streets. There is a lot of different things, there's a lot of different things that happen, and that's why it's a little bit longer. I don't think it's 50 seconds. I think it's still under 50 seconds, but there's like a lot of different parts to it, right? And that's the kind of stuff that, you can use to work with that song length, right? If you only got one part going on, then keep it short. And there are times where I made songs and I was like, no, there's not enough changes, and you can, even if you want to change it up a bit more, you can change the instruments, right? You can add another instrument track and make it so maybe your bass line and chords or whatever are two different instrument sounds now, right? So even if it's the same musical ideas, it's like a different timbre.
That's one of the differences between me and Mint. Is for me, even if a song I hate it, I'm still gonna release it.
Mm-hmm.
That's my type of Schroit, but the thing is, I make short songs, so you'll listen to it for 12 seconds, and then you're like, okay, I hated that.
It's really hard to make an unlistenably bad song that's like 12 seconds, right? The issue comes when you make one that just sucks and that's kind of boring to listen to, but that's like 40. That's where things start to kind of go downhill. Regardless, I think overall, we had a pretty solid week of Schroit. I know I've talked a bit with Yo-Yo. Both of us have new albums that we're working on right now. And I'm stoked for my next album. There are some absolute bangers on there. There's a couple of songs that I know Yo-Yo is gonna really like. There's a song called "I Hope You'll Be Mine," and that song.
I'm just imagining swiping that song name now.
No, that would be kind of funny.
And then you have to rename yours. I hope you'll be mine too.
Not two like TOO, like just the number
just
2.
TO.
I hope you'll be mine 2.
I was thinking, I hope you'll be mine too, like just destination.
Yeah, it's cool. It's groovy. Anyways, that sums it up for the Schroit releases this week. Again, solid stuff. A lot of singles. We got some fresh faces in the genre.
It was definitely a breath of fresh air.
Yeah,
for real.
No, you love to see it.
For real.
I think we're not realizing it right now, but Schroit is really growing. It's not like it's not shrinking. It's growing. It is absolutely, we got to keep this pace going, and as long as we keep pushing the genre and spreading it out.
I just thought of something that we should do. We haven't done this yet. I think we should all do a face for the thumbnail at the same time.
Okay.
Okay, you guys ready?
Yeah, everyone get ready to make a face for the thumbnail.
2, 1. Okay, I think we're good.
All right.
I think Yo-Yo wins this one.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
Okay, so let's get some Bible studying.
Yeah, so now on to the Bible study.
Who wants to start? I call dibs on not starting. I want to do the last one. I like the last part.
Yeah, of course. I can start. Well.
Rock, paper, scissors.
And God blessed Noah and his sons. I win. And said
unto them, be fruitful and multiply
and replenish the earth. No, I mean, if you want to start, you can.
No, go ahead.
Okay, sick.
Thank you, Regular, for the new Unum Claw Washington location.
Yeah.
It's good. So basically, he said, "Yo, be fruitful, multiply, replenish the earth, yada yada yada." We've already gone over this many a times. And the fear of you and the dread of you shall be upon every beast on the earth. So the next part, I had to look into it. So basically, here's the thing: at the time, animals did not have a fear of man because when Adam and Eve were created, they didn't eat meat. Right? In the Garden of Eden, they never ate any meat. So animals had no reason to fear men. But I had to look into some of these because I looked into a translation because some of the later stuff gets really nutty. So I wanted to make sure I was like getting a separate sources. So the idea here is that like they come out of the ark and there's like no crops, right? And the land has just been like destroyed by the flood. So then God was like, okay, you can eat meat now because I don't want you to die. Because I don't want you to starve right now. But then he's like, oh, but this is kind of unfair because you guys are like smart and you guys are gonna end up with things like desert eagles and like machine guns. So like let's make them scared of you. So then he makes animals scared of them as like a way of like trying to compensate for it, so that it's like a little bit. Oh, it's just a little trickier. It's a little harder.
Yeah.
And surely your blood or your lives will I require. At the hand of every beast will require it. Yeah. Oh, and this is another important thing here. Genesis 9:6 here. Whoso sheddeth man's blood, by man shall his blood be shed. For in the image of God made he man. Basically, what's going on here. Sorry, I should make sure I'm not. Anyways, so basically, what's going on here. Is he saying, hey, if you kill someone, your punishment should be the death penalty. Right? You kill a man, looks like you gotta get killed.
You die.
So that's pretty cool. So that's biblical law right there. That we know the Bible is pro death penalty. So that's a fun little fact for you.
Yeah.
And he makes his covenant with Noah, and yeah, everything comes out. All the animals come out, and he says, "Okay, yeah, you guys are now permitted to eat meat because I don't want you to starve."
Yep.
And that's basically that there. I can let someone else take off from here. We'll get that to Yo-Yo.
I read the Bible literally like just before we were gonna start, and can't remember any of it.
Okay, I'll continue.
Yeah, you got this.
So you left at 7? Like,
I mean, a bit further. You can go further than that. You can go to like even like 12. I even talked a little bit about 12, maybe around 13 onwards.
Okay. So yeah, it's and then he says that he placed a rainbow in the clouds, and that's going to be the sign of the agreement with life on Earth. So like when you see the rainbow appear, it means that he won't ever make another flood like that ever again.
It's him reminding us, kind of.
Yeah.
He's
So
like,
when you
don't
see the
worry,
rainbow,
guys. I'm
it
not
means-
going to kill you with a giant flood.
Exactly. So a rainbow is a bit like, it's a threat of showing I can do it, but I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah, show power.
It's kind of like chilling on your porch with like a shotgun and you're just looking at a bunch of rascals playing on the streets and saying,
yeah,
I could do this.
I'm just imagining going to playground.
That's just what my camera does. Don't worry about it.
I could do it, kids, but I'm not gonna.
But I
look at
could.
this.
But I could. Anyways.
And then God told Noah, "This is a sign of the agreement." And Noah's sons who left the ark, their names were Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And Ham is the father of Canaan, who's the father of the Canaanites. So all the people who descended from the earth are their descendants. So you have Adam and Eve. Then there's like branching up. Then they all died except for Noah and his descendants. So then everyone's a descendant of Adam and Eve, and a descendant of Noah.
Yeah.
And then he started to cultivate the ground, and he made a vineyard. And what do you do when you got some wine? You drink some wine.
Yeah.
And then he got drunk and fell asleep naked.
This is crucial.
Don't tell your parents.
This is
your
huge.
Parents were saying this.
Yeah.
And then Ham, the father of Canaan, went into the room and he was like, "Oops, I saw my daddy's wiener. I shouldn't look. I shouldn't look."
Yeah,
and then
don't look
he
at
went out of the room and he told his brothers, "Yo, Dad's naked inside." And then they were like, "We'll go cover him up." So they went with the blanket, covered up Noah.
Without looking.
Without looking. They were walking backwards, so they couldn't look at his private parts. And then Noah woke up from his drunken sleep and he was like, "May Canaan be cursed, who will be the lowest kind of slave, and he will serve his brothers." Which I think is a bit much, but I'm not Noah, so
yeah,
I don't really know. But the thing also is that's interesting is Ham's the one who saw
Yeah, who saw the willy.
But Noah cursed his son instead. So his son, who didn't do anything wrong, is now like the slave of his uncle.
And when I looked into this part a little bit, a lot of Christians seem to be like, okay, maybe this is a bit ridiculous. Maybe what they meant is that Ham took advantage of Noah, which would be really nasty. But that also would be. But then why would you not punish him?
Yeah,
it still doesn't add up there. And also, they really emphasize the fact that like Ham is the one who saw, and the other ones are like, we're not going to see. We're going to keep our eyes away. So like, they're. I feel like that doesn't really add up here, but like maybe someone could explain it better. But
so we gotta learn from this is don't look at your father's private.
Yeah.
Can I finish?
Sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
So then, now that Canaan was the servant of Ham's brothers, he said, "You shall enlarge Japheth," which means just give him so much food he's gonna be a real chunker, and he's gonna dwell in a tent, and yeah, we're gonna be his servant. And then, Noah lived a long, maybe fulfilling life after the flood, 350 years. And all the days of Noah were 9. So yeah, he died at 950 years old.
But you have to say the phrase. You have to see the phrase. Say the phrase.
And all the days of Noah were 950 years, and he died.
And he died. Yeah, just a reminder, he did die.
So true.
And this was a spicy chapter. I feel like some of the previous Noah chapters were kind of like lame filler. There's a lot more going on in this one. I think this one is one of the better from the series of Noah. Right, at least in my opinion.
And now the series of Noah must be finished because Noah's dead.
Yeah. Now that Noah's like right dead. I think this is a great conclusion. They talk about, God be like making it so that humans eat animals, because again, that was like, well, you this here a bunch of people talk about like the Garden of Eden. They're like, that wasn't a thing beforehand. And I'm like, okay, so that's what happened there. That's pretty important to the lore. And then after that, they talk about rainbows. That's pretty cool. That's important. That's more development. And then after that, they talk about Noah getting absolutely wasted, and someone seeing his willy, and the first bits of slavery as well.
I just want to remind myself of the next chapter. Hey, you guys are gonna love it. It's another one of those. This person had 4 children. Their names are this.
Yo, it's gonna be a really good
those guys had children. But there's a bit more stuff. It's not just names and years and stuff. There's a bit more stuff.
It's gonna be really cool. It's gonna be epic. But no. Also, I think it's funny how they're like, Noah, this is the best human. He's the one who gets to live. We're letting him through. Immediately after he gets off the ark, let me get absolutely wasted.
Hey, if you get a free pass, why not?
That's fair. That's true. He's like, well, look, God's not gonna flood us.
Yeah.
So does that mean that the Bible condones getting drunk and getting naked in your room?
Here's the thing: is that I know that typically speaking, in the Bible, like, or at least a lot of religious people tend to be very much against like drinking too much. So like, how do they console the fact that Noah, who's like one of the biggest biblical icons, gets wasted in Genesis 9?
I think God had some mercy, maybe, or something for him because he saved all those animals. But I might be missing something.
No, but God made him save all the animals.
Yeah, it wasn't really his choice. It was just kind of like, you have to do this. And then maybe I guess that's the thing, is like, I made you do this chore. Okay, I'm gonna let you get drunk.
I mean, when you think, but the people like Adam and Eve, they ate the apple, and God told them not to do it, right? They saw some oil.
Yeah, but did God ever tell them not to drink, though?
It's a bit like Lord of the Rings. You know how the hobbits, they brought the ring to the volcano and then they dropped it in there, and after a few years they were brought to the island of the elves. But it's not because they lived a perfect life. It's because they did this quest for them. So they were like, okay, you're good, even if you
Yeah.
did some bad stuff in your life. You come on down.
Yeah, we'll reward you for, or we'll compensate you for the work that you
Mhm.
did. Yeah.
Yeah, you can look at some elvish women. That's a good
Am I right
one.
or am I right?
Yeah. So right. Yeah,
You're
no,
so
it
right.
was pretty cool. It was a pretty spicy chapter. But and I think that about does it here.
Mm-hmm.
So
So what we can resume from this is lots of great songs, and we want to see some other stuff from the new artist.
yeah.
I
So the
forget
new
the name already.
Cowmaster.
The Cowmaster.
and
We
Genesis.
want to see some more Cowmaster stuff. And Genesis too.
Yeah, there's
Genesis.
2 new artists.
If you're watching this,
You
better.
You know
And the
they're not.
Cowmaster, I think they're probably going to do it anyways because I have a lot of influence on them.
Good.
I love grooming children to make Schroit.
The best way to do it.
That's why we're on Discord.
Raise 'em well. Raise 'em well.
So yeah, what you can take out of this is don't look at your parents while they're in the room after getting drunk.
Yeah. Or else your kids will become slaves. You'll
Yes.
get off scot-free though.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I guess.
Unless you
can
hate
do
your
it
kids. If your kid is
what
like
if you don't have
annoying,
kids?
then it'll probably be, you probably want to breed a little bit just so you have that like shield.
Thank you, Yo-Yo.
Bazinga.